So tell us about what your childhood was like. What were some of your ambition as like maybe like a 5-year-old or like a 7-year-old? What was it like? But how was your college experience? Because I know in Mumbai it's different, right? Who had sent me this video, I feel like it is still very relevant for a lot of people. There's this video called Detachment by. Hi everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Keep It Real with Ash and Adi. So, Adi, we have discussed about a lot of different things in the last few episodes.
Yes.
And I think what I've been seeing is not a lot of people really know much about us. And I think it would be just fun to talk about our childhood because I feel like our childhood has definitely shaped a lot of what we are today. There's obviously a lot of things that we talk to each other about, like, here are the lessons, here are some of the like challenges and like things that we have learned over these years, which sort of subconsciously shape our way we make decisions. So I think like we could talk about that and just like share about what our childhood felt like and what are some of the things that you really reminiscence about.
Yeah, that's awesome. So back to the roots. It's
Back
a
to the
good time
roots.
to be reflecting on our childhood as we enter our 30s.
Yeah.
I realized like I've spent since I used to think that graduating my 10th standard was
Yeah.
like a big milestone in my life, and I
Yeah.
realized like that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So that is like exactly the midpoint of my life at this point. It's crazy. But yeah, no, childhood is always a great topic. Gives you a lot of food for thought in terms of how you evolved as a person.
Yeah.
And like, how you were as a how you were as an early teenager
Yeah.
towards your late teens, and then even through, like, I feel like even through 23 to 30,
Yeah.
I feel like I have transitioned a lot in terms of how I think.
Mhm.
And of course, there were life events that happened as well that
Yeah.
also sort of shapes you as a person.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, super excited to talk about our childhood.
So tell me where we start from, like the little Adi. When you were growing up, I'm sure like you were fascinated by a few things around you. I'm assuming car is one thing because the number
Yeah.
of car magazines that you collected. So what was your childhood like, and like what were you thinking? Like one other common thing that we have is having our party, right? Like having our grandmother living with us. So I think that was also like something which is very common. So tell us about what your childhood was like. What were some of your ambition as like maybe like a 5-year-old or like a 7-year-old? What was it like?
Yeah, no, my childhood was really awesome. I had a great time. I had like super supportive parents, as you know, and then I also have some loving memories with my grandparents, which I feel
Yeah.
like really shapes your childhood,
Yeah.
right? Like I feel like grandparents are the sweetest part
Yeah.
of your childhood. So definitely had all of that. I was more of a nerdy kid,
Yeah.
but I used to love sports a lot.
Okay.
So I was one of the kids who used to. I mean, not to brag, but up to like the 5th standard, I used to be the kid who used to always come first in sports as well as first in classes.
Student of the year.
So I was, yeah, pretty much like really student of the year at that point. No, it didn't translate too much later, but then at least till like I was till my early teens, I was always the topper in the class, and
Yeah.
like I used to love sports.
Yeah.
And I was also very curious. Like there was no social media, thank God. There was
Yeah,
nothing
I
to
know.
distract me. So I spent my summer vacations playing cricket in the sun
Yeah.
all day, and then coming back reading books. My mom is super responsible for introducing me to books as a kid. So
Yeah.
I was a bookworm. So I used to love reading a lot of books.
Yeah.
And she used to always there used to be this sale
Yeah.
in Bombay where you used to get these like big coffee table books with planets
Yeah,
and
yeah.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of my childhood was that, like reading books on planets, solar system, like
Yeah.
stars and galaxies and all of that. And I used to also read about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with dinosaurs. Like pretty much I could name like any dinosaur there is.
Yeah.
And then cars was a later fascination that I developed. But yeah, pretty much typical boy, like
Growing
typically
up.
like typical boy growing up. But yeah, I don't think I had any specific career aspirations.
Like, did you never feel watching like autocar videos that one day you want to be the guy doing those
Yes,
videos?
exactly. That was one of my dreams,
Yeah.
actually. So it started off with being an astronaut,
Yeah.
and then I pretty much realized that the reason actually that astronaut dream vanished was because I realized you need to have good eyesight, and I never had good eyesight
Yeah.
growing up. I
Yeah.
always had glasses. So my astronaut and pilot career sort of ended. because of my terrible eyesight.
Yeah.
And then after that, yes, I did for a period of time when I used to buy the subscription for Autocar and Top Gear.
Yeah.
Every month, my mom used to get it for me. And I used to just like, I used to be so excited when the new Top Gear magazine arrived. Just, I used to see all the pictures, and I wanted to be one of the journalists that actually does the car reviews. But then later, as I grew up, I realized I wanted to be the guy who owns the car. but that's okay. That's it. I think it's still a very cool profession. A lot of like people I follow have translated into very successful. Have translated that car journalism, automotive journalism into very successful YouTube careers.
Yeah, we were watching this lady, right? Like you're pretty. You really like a lot of her videos.
Supercar Blondie is one of them. Like she became
no,
like
that
super
Indian
popular.
lady that we were watching.
Oh, Renuka Kriplani is one of the OGs. So she was. She's an automotive journalist from the print era.
Yeah.
So she used to do a lot of those written articles, like where she actually like writes articles, like reviews the car. It's all picture, no video. But then now she does a lot of video. Like Autocar is also, all the magazines have now become more of YouTube
videos,
channels. But then I still miss like the print version, and I had a stack of those Top Gear magazines. With me.
We should probably have that here in the background for like the next videos. I'm sure like your mom can send us all those copies, and we can stack it up here for aesthetics, because right now it's like full of AI books.
Yeah, we need some.
I feel like it just looks like more of a library than.
I mean, there are some like good books, but then most of your AI like theoretical
these are all
books.
AI. That one is from Jimmy.
We need to spice it up a little.
That is you, Outlive. He's obsessed with health right now, like, so Outlive is him. Then we have like a bunch more of AI books here, and like Harvard Business Reviews and MIT Tech Reviews. Yeah, we have a lot of.
Let's talk about your childhood now. How was your childhood growing up? What were your ambitions, aspirations as a kid? Did they translate into something?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I mean, like, I don't know. I don't think everybody knows about this, but my father used to be an artist. Like, he was very, very much into art. Like, he used to love painting and sketching. I was showing you some of his old sketches, right? Like this time when we were in Kerala. So he used to be that, history student who was into arts and all that stuff. So obviously, career didn't make anything. So that's also why my mom was like the breadwinner of the family. And I think my mom had one expectation, probably like a mild expectation, which was like, don't go into creative arts. It doesn't make you any money, especially in India. Like, you'll not make like any money. And good or bad, I have a lot of my father's genes, which is, so growing up, I used to be very fascinated by paintings and like drawing and dance. So I remember like in my school, we had a music class. I was interested in that as well. So anything which was creative was something that I was interested in. So crayons and like, all of these things used to just fascinate me a lot. Like, even if I'm like, still does, I know, I don't know why. Like, we just walk into a stationery store and I'm like drooling over all the crayons and paint and everything. So that used to be my childhood, where I used to be like, oh, and I remember this one time, I think it was a weekend, and I was probably like in second standard, and I saw this newspaper, one little clip, which said Pragati Maidan has a painting competition happening for like kids. Always adamant. I don't think that has also changed at all. Very adamant kid. So I was like, I want to go. And my father used to be the person who's like, supporting me with everything. And he used to be like mostly at home. So he was like, let's go. We'll take you to the painting competition. And I won that painting competition, and we got like this Dumbo toothpaste. I don't know if you remember, this was like very old, like flavored toothpaste with like elephants on it. That is what I won out of that competition. So like growing up, I used to be like, oh, this is what I want to do. Like I'm going to either be like an artist, or I'm going to be a dancer or something around that. Never took any dancing lessons. But that was something that I always felt like growing up, that I wish I get to do that. And even I was telling you this, right? Like when I was in my 11th, 12th standard, like preparing for my IITs, there was this NIFT training center close to it, like National Institute of Fashion Technology. And I was like, dude, can I not go here? Like, do I have to really do engineering? like now that I see myself, I feel that I'm just born to do engineering or born to do what I'm doing right now. But that's not how it started, you know, like
But I feel like you still, that creativity aspect is not lost, right? Just because you are an engineer by
yeah,
profession, I feel like you have a great creative release through social media, right? Like
yeah,
writing
fair.
scripts and like putting together interesting visuals, and
Yeah,
like, that really helps. Like, I feel like creativity need not, and it's perfectly fine to be creative in a form of art and dance,
yeah.
but you can find creativity in pretty much every aspect of your
That's
life.
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
And like even within your engineering profession, there are aspects of the job that require a
Yeah,
creative mind, and I feel like you still have those components, like that really that you had as a kid, and I feel like you still enjoy that a lot.
yeah.
So that's awesome that you still kept that side of you.
Yeah, I have to like maybe spend more time doing artwork and stuff that I don't get enough time to do. But that's probably why I was more interested in doing interiors and stuff, which is also like, you know, one way of a release to just like design how the house should
Yeah.
look like and all of that. So yeah, that's about it.
What
Um,
was your teenage like?
I was very quiet. I feel like there was I had shared this post on LinkedIn, and I truly felt that, you know, uh, not like blaming anybody in particular, because I don't even remember which teacher what happened, but I still remember very vividly that, you know, like I used to be a very chatty kid. I don't think I need to really convince you on that. So I used to be a very chatty kid, and like going in my kindergarten, I used to always talk to people around me. I mean, like I'm what, like a 3 or 4 or year old, right? Like I don't know what to really like talk, or like I didn't know much about like what that classes are or whatever, right? Like I used to love talking to kids around me. I used to love talking to teachers. I that used to be just like my way. I'll just like randomly walk to somebody and talk. That's what my mom tells me. And my mom was like, your teacher used to keep telling me on your report card that she's very talkative, she's very talkative, she's very talkative. And somehow as a kid, you know, like it starts reinforcing that it's a negative thing. And after, I think like after my first second standard, I became a very quiet child. Like I used to not talk a lot. Like I became like very nerdy. I would only like read. I would be very shy on talking to people. Growing up, like I was telling you, as a teenager, I was a very fat kid. So partly was being bullied about that in school. So all of these factors sort of contributed me to becoming very quiet. And my only way to, like, you know, in my mind, showcase that I'm worth it was through academics. Like that was the only thing that I had. So I would, like, you know, just bury myself into books and like just read, and like I used to only think about like scoring good grades, like topping the class. That's all I cared about, until I went to VIT. So VIT was the first time when I was outside of my comfort
VIT
zone.
is your engineering
VIT
college.
is my engineering college. So till my 12th standard, I used to live in Delhi, where my mom and dad were there. And um, after that, for my undergrad, I moved to Chennai. I had started losing weight, and I started noticing people notice me. So started becoming a little bit more confident. And the good thing was, this entire crowd in my college didn't know anything about me. So, you know, like this was a entirely new playing field for me to like set up who I want to be in front of them. And I think, like, if I'm like reflecting back, that is like personal branding 101. You know, like what do I want them to see me as? So that sort of like changed the narrative. Like I started being more extrovert. I joined dance club finally. So I used to enjoy dancing. I joined the fashion club, which was like Style Check. So I was getting out of my comfort zone and, like, you know, trying to do different things. But that was when I started exploring things outside of just academics and, like, you know, doing what I was doing. But how was your college experience? Because I know in Mumbai it's different, right?
Yeah, it was very different for me. So I always had my close set of friends
Yeah.
from my apartment complex, which is where we grew up. All of us grew up together, and I had like a very good social life, and always had friends. Like, we used to have a lot of fun, roam around. But then my undergrad experience was not that good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like one of the things that worked in your favor was you left your home environment.
Yeah.
for me, I stayed in Mumbai. So I stayed with my parents during my undergrad.
Yeah.
Very different experience. And in hindsight, I feel like
Yeah.
I should have moved out, not to another city. I probably should have come to the US directly for my
Yeah.
undergrad.
Yeah.
Because that would have given me a lot more maturity at a young age. I feel like till I left India, I was not very mature. Like in my mind, I was still like in the protected comfort zone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was okay. I didn't like my undergrad college as much. It was fine. Did the bare minimum for me. Graduated. It's all good. Made some decent friends.
Yeah.
Not like some of the closest friends I have for sure. But then my I guess my focus on college was to just like attend the bare minimum classes and go back home. And then by the time I had reached my second year of engineering, I knew I wanted to go to the US. So I
Yeah.
started preparing for my master's degree and entrance exams and all of that. I didn't want to work in India. That I was set on like I didn't want to start a career in India. I wanted to come to the US directly. And in hindsight, it worked out well. But it also meant that during my undergrad, I didn't have as much fun. I feel like from a classic fun perspective.
Yeah.
But then the good thing was I was comfortable. Like I still had my close set of friends. I still maintained contact with them.
Yeah.
We used to still hang out. Most of my friends also stayed in Mumbai. So like, you know, we had a good like social scene. And we used to go out on a lot of fun movie nights. Like, you know, do a lot of hangouts in the city.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. Overall, it was fine. But then, yeah, I didn't have that out of home experience
Yeah.
in undergrad, which
Yeah.
makes a big difference
Yeah.
in my opinion. It really shapes your personality.
Yeah, for sure.
But my life changed when I moved to the US because
Yeah.
that's the first time like I was taken out of my comfort zone. Actually, sorry, I didn't even go to the US. I went to
Yeah.
Australia for a year. So
Yeah.
as soon as I left India, that's when I went out of my comfort zone, and
Yeah.
now I was thrown into an environment where I had to take care of myself,
Yeah.
like, you know, pretty much do all the chores and everything, like where like, you know, I have no support.
Yeah.
But it was good. Like I feel like those 2 years really taught me. My year in Australia and the US really made me independent and mature. So that transformed me.
Yeah.
So I transformed a bit later. I transformed after like 22.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. No regrets. It turned out fine. But yeah, I also I had a few years where I was a lot into like, you know, things that I shouldn't have been doing, like, you know, slacking off in college. So what happened is I used to be a topper till the 10th grade.
Yeah.
And then 11th, 12th, in the 11th and 12th standard, I started doing this engineering entrance
Yeah.
exam and realized, guess what? I'm not that smart. Or like I'm just not interested in like this
Yeah.
like, you know, entrance exam
Yeah,
rat race.
fair,
I still
yeah.
feel like I'm not a rat race person.
Yeah.
Like even at work or like anywhere, if there is a race,
Yeah.
I like to sit out.
Yeah.
Like I'm like I don't want to get into this race
Yeah.
mindset. I want
Yeah.
to do what is best for myself in my own pace. I like to see progress
Yeah.
from within myself. Like
Yeah,
if I'm
that
doing
makes
better
sense,
than what I was 6 months ago, I'm fine.
Yeah.
As long as I'm seeing some progress is okay. I don't like to I don't compare with anybody else, or
Yeah.
I don't like this rat race mentality. So
Yeah.
I just checked out.
Yeah.
I was like, screw this, I'm not doing this IIT entrance exam rubbish. So I spent my time like, you know, unfortunately I spend my time partying and like wasting time and like getting into all sorts of shit which I shouldn't have. Now I feel
Yeah.
like I should have really focused those years to
Yeah.
think about what I really want to do,
Fair.
or like what are my interests. Like those years really matter. But then again,
Yeah.
environment was not such that I was really put in a place of discomfort where I had to think about these things.
Yeah.
But that's how
I
it is.
had made a video about this, like what are some of the things that I used to see people do in their college. and
Yeah,
what
so
you
I
should
was
do.
those people who used to do those
I
things.
wouldn't really put you in that category. I
You
mean,
don't know me. Back
I
in the
mean,
day.
you did pretty well. I mean, you did
Yeah.
pretty well for
I
yourself.
was okay.
So
I was fine. I was fine. Overall, I was not very bad, but
Yeah.
I was okay. I still managed
you
to.
were just having fun.
I was having fun,
Yeah.
and then I realized by the time it was time to get serious, I managed to get serious. It was
Yeah.
not like I started. A lot of my friends started failing their engineering exams, and
Yeah.
like, you know, spent a lot of time like
Yeah.
catching up, and it was very hard for them to even
Yeah.
complete engineering. And
I
engineering
mean, like
is
you
just.
you were scoring pretty well.
I was
through your
okay. Like
engineering
I
as
mean,
well, yeah.
not really. I was
Yeah.
okay. I managed to scrape past. Thankfully, I didn't fail any subjects. I
Yeah.
managed to clear it.
Yeah.
So when the time came, I used to study.
Yeah.
But then I also wasted a lot of time. Like I felt like I could really spend time building something, like, you know, trying out some new technology,
Yeah.
like, you know, being curious.
Yeah.
I felt like I stopped being curious. I just wanted to get through the exams, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Fair.
it's very, it it's unfortunate that sometimes the education system in India is very focused
Yeah.
on marks and
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
it puts you in that mindset where you just want to score X number of marks and then life will be okay,
Life
which
will
it's
be,
never, it's never
Yeah.
okay just because you scored marks.
Yeah. That is true.
So that was unfortunately
That is true.
the mindset back then. But as I went into my master's degree, I slowly, like, you know, evolved as a person as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, if I were to go back and tell my teenage self, like, you know, get into the zone, think about your health, like start working out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I felt like if I started working out back then, I would be in way better shape. Like, you know, I would
Fair.
really
Yeah.
have been like, you know, that's the age to really, you know, you have all the
Yeah.
strength in the world. You can really focus on fitness and being healthy and, like, you know, doing the
Yeah.
right things. Really spending time, and some people actually, I see some of the kids nowadays, they have that
They
maturity.
have that maturity.
Not
Yeah, for
everybody
sure.
is partying, drinking, smoking. They're
No,
really
I
like,
feel that there is a very good trend that I'm
Yeah.
seeing, especially with younger kids, where they're like, I have known kids, or like maybe I call them kids because they're in their early 20s, or like, you know, in their like 17s and 18s, but they're like no alcohol, you know, like none
Yeah.
of these things, and
Yeah.
they're like pretty focused and like pretty health,
Very
pretty
health
like
conscious
health
as well.
conscious and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And that's the way to be.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is the way. And I feel like there is a section of society that is influencing people into healthy habits
Yeah,
and
for sure.
longevity and things like that, which I
Yeah.
feel like if you do these things as a 15, 16-year-old,
Yeah.
really sets the foundation
Yeah,
for you, and you're
obviously,
very
yeah.
focused.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. Life turned out fine, I think. So yeah. What about you? Like, how was life after VIT?
After VIT, I think, so for me, throughout my life, like my motivation was just to like get into a better lifestyle for my family, like, you know, get them a home, get them a good home, improve their financial situation. That was all my goal. And I think that was also naturally what put me through engineering, in the sense that my mom has never ever told me to do engineering, like, you know, FYI, my mom has never, both my parents have never like pressurized me to do anything or like not to do anything. They were like the most chillax parents ever. Like my mom used to work all the time, like, and she would be doing her overtime, she'll be working through the weekends. uh, she was like, you know, she was the backbone of the family, but she never put any pressure on me whatsoever. In fact, I have seen the opposite situation in my family, because my father used to be the one who's taking care of the home, making food, you know, like taking care of me, and my mom was like out and about, like doing her job, like, you know, earning for the family. So it was a very different mindset when I was growing through it. So I have never seen within my family where, like, you know, the man is supposed to be the alpha, or like the women is supposed to be the beta, like whatever is the sense of like this alpha and beta I keep hearing about. That was never the case. Like I've always seen, in fact, the opposite, where my mom was like, you know, the alpha, where my mom was the provider for the family, and like my dad was taking care of me. So for me, like growing up, that's the lens that I've seen, and that was something that inherently made me feel more confident about myself in general. Like I never felt that, oh, I need to be cooking, or like, you know, I was like, oh, my goal is just career. That's all I have. That's
great.
all I'm like born into. That's all I care about. Like to a point where I had even like told this to my mom when I was a kid. Now that's not true, but like when I was a kid, I used to tell my mom that I never want to get married, and like the only thing I want to do is like focus on my career, and like I want to spend the rest of my life only doing my job and like my building my career, because I used to think that everything outside of it is a distraction.
You still do that sometimes.
I mean, everything but you is a distraction.
Hmm.
You're still part of the not distracting me pool. But yeah, I mean, like when I went to my undergrad, I knew that my mom has like, you know, spent each and every last penny of her savings for my education. And that's something that she has always done. You know, even if like my education was probably the biggest pool of the expense that she was doing. So I knew what it was to see her, like, you know, putting so much of her monthly income into my education, where she was like not even like getting to like buy a new sari for herself. So seeing that, like I knew that, okay, like the only way that I can get my family out of this financial situation is by getting a very good career, And as soon as I got into VIT, since my first semester, I was like internship after internship
Yeah,
after
you were
internship.
you were a born
So,
hustler.
so I was just like doing internship. My first few months of internships were more like internshala. So I picked up some internships from internshala, which
Yeah.
was like a writer and like I mean, like now with ChatGPT, I don't think any of those roles exist. But I
Yeah,
used to
Internshala
basically
was
like
pretty big back then.
yeah. So I used to do like he used to pay me what like 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, but that was a lot for me. Like that was a lot,
It's
right?
okay.
Like
Yeah, it is something,
it
right?
is it
As
is
a kid,
something,
like it's
right? Like
something. Yeah.
when I was there, like at least for my books and like for all of that stuff, like
You can
it
add
was
it in your
pretty good.
resume and stuff like
Yeah,
things
I
that.
mean, at least like yeah, the work experience and stuff, sure, you can add it in your resume. And then like one after the other, like I kept doing more and more internships. So my 4 year of undergrad has been more of like a blur to me
Yeah,
because all I remember is
very
like
busy.
working,
That's good.
working. But somehow I feel one of the other reasons I feel like I'm glad that I went to VIT is because there was no concept of US in my dictionary. I didn't know what US was, or like there was something called going abroad. But when I came to VIT, I saw a lot of people around me talking about it. So I was like, oh, there is better opportunities out there. And especially like since my second year of undergrad, I was like, there is no money here in research. At that time, I was like very focused on academics and like research machine learning, not like applied machine learning. It wasn't really much of a thing at that point. So I was like, okay, research, there is no pay here. Like, what am I going to do? So that's when I started using LinkedIn. That's what I was telling you, right? Like, that's when I started using LinkedIn and like connecting with people. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did through my undergrad, which was just doing what I was doing, just hustling, just wearing my blinders and thinking that there is nothing else outside of this world, and just like going in that direction. Yeah, but do you sometimes feel that like the journey that you've had has created maybe like some strong opinions in your mind?
Strong opinions. I don't think so. I
Or
don't think that
maybe
I have
maybe
any
like
strong
let's
opinions.
call it like lessons that you've learned,
Yeah.
like
So
good and bad.
yeah, I think the good lesson, one bad lesson that unfortunately I've had is I still tend to go towards my comfort zone always. Like I'm not much of a risk taker, which is very different than what you have seen. I've
Yeah.
taken calculated risks at different point in my life, but overall I'm not a big risk taker. And I feel like undergrad is really the time to take risks. Like you can really try
Yeah.
like a lot of different things, and I feel like you really jumped on that opportunity. Yeah, I mean, if I were to go back and tell my teenage self, like really explore and try different things, like be more involved in the community, like try to be part of different events in your undergrad, like build a good network. Like those are the sort of things, like I feel
Yeah.
like I sort of stuck to my guns in a way,
Yeah.
and then it turned out fine eventually. Like there's nothing like probably could have gone
Yeah.
different, but
Yeah.
who knows, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like those were some of the years I feel like I really should have made the most of it,
Yeah.
and not like slacked off as much as I did. So that
Yeah.
was my advice to anybody, like who's in their undergrad, like really explore it, especially if you are abroad. Like you can take so many different courses,
Yeah, for
like
sure. Yeah.
learn a new language. Like that time, that free amount of free time, you're never going to get back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just life is just going to get busier and busier and busier, and your ability to learn is just going to go down.
Yeah.
Everyone gets set in their own ways, and it's
Yeah,
very hard
for
to
sure.
pivot.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the best time to always keep pivoting. So I feel that's my like sort of takeaway if I
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. How about yours?
I feel like same as you, right? Like I don't know if that changing the way that I lived through would have changed where I ended up. I don't know. But I feel like at one point in time, especially when I was through my undergrad, like as a kid who had just like, moved out of Delhi to a new city, as I told you, like I was always a quiet kid till the time I was in Delhi. So suddenly I felt like I was more vulnerable. Right now, I feel like I have become very ruthless in the sense that um, I care deeply about the people that I care about. But if I see like any sort of like negative aura from somebody, or like, something that I just don't feel right about somebody, whether it be a friend or like whoever in my network, I don't think a second to cut them out of my life. So I think that used to not be the case, and I feel like that has really like hurt me in multiple different ways, where I've invested a lot emotionally into people. And I used to trust people a lot. I used to like go above and beyond to help people, and like to really like build relationships with people, and like keep at it, not let it go, sort of a thing. So that, I think that did change me a lot. So like I think like in my early teenage days and like my early days in my college, I used to be that very, very giving person, and like who will always be there, like trying really hard to help and like to do all the things that I used to. But that emotional level of investment used to bite me back. So now I feel like I have learned this. So there was this like one person who had sent, like a mentor of mine, who had sent me this video. I feel like it is still very relevant for a lot of people, whether be it a relationship or with friendship or like whatever it is, right? There's this video called Detachment by Sadhguru. So he basically says that, you can love somebody, you can be a part of a family, you can have really good friends, but how do you be emotionally detached so you don't get hurt when people around you change? So somebody had sent me that video, and I think like that changed me a little bit, where I was like, okay, I need to protect my energy, and I need to care about people who are in my close circle, whom I deeply care about. But anything outside of that, if I don't get the same level of positivity from another person, I'll cut them out instantly. I'll not think twice. So that is something that I have changed for me. So yeah, I mean, that is it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I think we spent a lot of time talking about our childhood. We both had like different paths, right?
Yeah.
My path was more like I was more on the, I felt like I took life too chill. And then you took like, you were too hard on yourself. I feel like we were like completely opposite people
Yeah.
as teenagers.
Yeah.
And now as we've grown, we've sort of like, become a little bit more balanced. We
Yeah.
still have our traits. I feel we
That's
still
what
default,
attracts
we
us.
still default to our like,
Yeah.
our how we were, but then
Yeah.
it's okay. Like I feel like we are overall like trying to balance.
But I
And
think that's what
the
that's
part
what
of
it
growing
is,
up.
right? Like
That's the part
opposites
of growing
attract. That's what people
Yeah,
say.
and it's also part of growing up, right?
Yeah.
When you grow up, you also like see life from a different lens.
Yeah.
Like and you don't you when you're young, you feel like you're invincible. You don't feel that anymore. Like you feel like you have some weaknesses and
Yeah.
things that you can improve on. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think this was a great conversation.
Yeah.
It was great. Like took me back to all the memories from childhood and
Yeah.
my teenage years. So it was great to reminisce
Yeah, for
on
sure.
that. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you have any interesting childhood lessons or lessons from your teenager. If you had something to say to your teenage self, like what would that be? So
Yeah.
leave your thoughts in the comments, and yeah, we'd be happy to learn about it.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. I mean, like, I feel like we don't do this enough, and like, probably adults, we should do this more, which is just like reflect back on our
yeah,
childhood and like,
100%.
just
Yeah.
see how far we have come, how we have changed. Maybe take some good lessons, maybe take some things that we could change about ourselves now. So, yeah, I mean, tell us more about what your childhood was. What are some of the things that shaped you the way you are right now? And maybe tell us about like one thing that you're very proud of yourself, and maybe one thing that you would like to change about yourself. Yeah.
Awesome. With that, that's a wrap.
So we'll see you in
See
the
you
next
one.
episode.
Yeah.